Welcome to the Economics of Capital Market lecture series. Today we are going to discuss about the participants or intermediaries in the primary market. Who are the major participants in the primary markets, or who are the intermediaries in primary market? In the last class we discussed about the financial intermediaries, and in the primary market also we could see different types of participants or intermediaries. A discussion about various types of participants or intermediaries or players in the primary markets are given in this class. Major participants are merchant bankers, registrar to the issue, bankers, brokers, underwriters, etc. These are the major participants or intermediaries or players in the primary market. The first category is the merchant bankers, and they play an important or vital role in the primary market. They act as issue managers, lead managers, or co-managers. Type of participant is registrar to the issue. Registrars are intermediaries who undertake all activities connected with new issue management. They are appointed by the company in consultation with merchant bank to the issue. That is, the registrars are intermediaries who undertake all activities connected with the new issue, and they are appointed by the company in consultation with the merchant bankers. Third participants are the bankers. Some commercial banks act as a collecting agent and some act as coordinating banker. Some bankers act as merchant bankers and some as brokers, and they play roles like transfer, transmission, and safe custody of funds. That is, the third important player in primary markets are the bankers. They act as a collecting agency, coordinating a bank, merchant bank, brokers, etc., who helps in the transfer, transmission, and safe custody of funds. The type of participants are the brokers. They act as intermediaries in the purchase and sale of securities in the primary and secondary market. They have a network of sub-brokers spread throughout the length and breadth of the country. That is, they are the intermediaries in the purchase and sale of securities. Fifth category is known as underwriters. Generally, investment bankers act as underwriters. They agreed to take a specified number of shares or debentures offered to the public. If the issue is not fully subscribed by the public, underwriters may be financial institution, banks, mutual funds, brokers, etc. That is, underwriters are generally investment bankers. They agree to take a specified number of shares or debentures offered to the public if the issue is not fully subscribed by the public. These underwriters may be financial institutions, banks, mutual funds, brokers, etc. In the next section, we will see in details about the various participants in the primary market. The first participant in the primary market was the merchant banker or the lead managers. Lead managers or the merchant bankers plays an important role in issue management process, and they ensures that the correct informations are furnished in the offer documents. They have to ensure compliance with the SEBI rules and regulations regarding the issue of shares in the primary market. The intermediaries in the stock market who are responsible for public issue management are known as the merchant bankers or lead managers. That is, the intermediaries in the stock market who are responsible for the public issue management are called the merchant bankers or the lead managers. These merchant bankers or the lead managers are appointed by the company with successful background. There may be more than one manager to the issue. The fee is decided by the company and the lead manager and is given in memorandum of understanding. Merchant banking division of financial institutions, commercial banks, foreign banks, private sector banks, private agencies, and act as lead managers or the merchant bankers. And they ensures the information, all the informations provided are correct. They also ensure SEBI guidelines for Disclosure and Investor Protection Act to safeguard the interest of the investors. They submit a certificates to the SEBI stating that disclosures in the prospectus are true. That is, the merchant bankers are the intermediaries in the stock market responsible for the management of public issue. They are appointed by the company. The condition is that they should have a successful background and the fee is decided by the company and lead manager. Generally, merchant banking divisions of the financial institution, commercial banks, foreign banks, etc. act as lead managers. They ensures that the informations given in the prospectus are correct and they also need to submit certificates to the SEBI ensuring that disclosures in the prospectus are true. Major duties of merchant bankers are drafting of prospectus, preparing the budget of expenses relating to the issue, suggest appropriate time for issue, assist in marketing, advise the companies on appointment of registrar, underwriters, brokers, bankers, and advertising agents, directing the various agencies involved in public issues. These are the major duties of merchant bank. That is drafting prospectus, preparing the budget expenses related to the issue, suggest appropriate time for issue, assist in marketing, advice to the company, directions to the various agencies involved in the public issue. Major categories of merchant bankers are divided into four categories. The first one or the first category is category 1. They act as a lead manager. Their main functions include security mix to be issued, drafting of prospectus, application form, allotment of letters, appointment of registrars, making arrangements for underwriting, placement of shares, selection and appointment of brokers, banker to the issue, publicity of issue. That is, the first category of merchant bankers are known as lead managers, or they are the category 1 merchant bankers. Their major functions include these activities. The second category act as consultant, advisors, portfolio managers and co-managers. Third category are the underwriters. They act as underwriters, advisors or co-managers. And fourth category includes they act only as advisors or consultants. These are the various categories of merchant bankers available in the primary market. That is category 1. They do almost all the important functions in the primary market. Second category includes consultants, advisors, portfolio managers. Third category includes or they act as underwriters, advisors, co-managers, and the fourth category act as advisors or consultant. SEBI guidelines on merchant banking are given in this section. That is, the merchant banking activity in India is governed by SEBI Merchant Bankers Regulation Act 1992. Registration with SEBI is mandatory to carry out the business of merchant banking in India. That is, merchant bankers are functioning in accordance with the guidelines provided by Securities and Exchange Board of India. Major guidelines provided by the SEBI on merchant banking business are that the applicant should not carry on any business other than those connected with the securities market. Second one is multiple categories of merchant bankers will be abolished and there will be only one equity merchant bankers. Second one, third one, the merchant bankers is allowed to perform underwriting activity. For performing portfolio managers, the merchant bankers has to seek separate registration from the SEBI. A merchant banker cannot undertake the function of non-banking financial company such as accepting deposit, financing other business, etc. A merchant banker has to confine himself only to capital market activities. These are the guidelines given by SEBI on merchant banking activities in India. They are applicants should not carry on in business other than those connected with the security market. Multiple categories of merchant banking will be abolished only. There will be only one equity merchant bankers. Merchant bankers is allowed to perform underwriting activities, whereas for performing portfolio managing activities, they have to seek separate registration from the SEBI. A merchant banker cannot undertake the function of non-banking financial companies. A merchant banker has to confine himself to the capital market activities. Here, the recognition by SEBI on merchant bankers are given. SEBI will grant recognition as a merchant banker after taking into account the following aspect or the condition needed for recognizing a merchant banker by SEBI are given as follows. First one, the professional competency of the merchant banker. Second one, the capital adequacy of the merchant banker, track record, experience, and general reputation of the merchant bankers. Fourth one is quality of staff employed by the merchant banker, their adequacy and available infrastructure, etc. After considering the above aspects, SEBI will grant permission to the merchant bankers. That is, SEBI will take into account professional competency, adequacy of capital, track record, experience, general reputation, quality of staff employed, infrastructure facilities, etc. for granting permission to the or for giving licenses as merchant bankers. Now, we want to see the conditions imposed by SEBI for merchant bankers. The conditions given by SEBI for merchant bankers are: first one, SEBI will give authorization for a merchant banker to operate for 3 years only. Without SEBI's authorization, merchant bankers cannot operate. Second condition is that the minimum net worth of merchant banker should be 1 crore. Adequate capital must be there with the merchant banker. Third one is merchant banker has to pay authorization fee, annual fee and renewal fee. Fourth condition is that all issue of shares must be managed by one authorized merchant banker. It should be the lead manager. That is category 1. Merchant bank must issue shares and he manages the shares. The responsibility of the lead manager will be clearly indicated by the SEBI. Sixth condition is that lead managers are responsible for allotment of securities, refunds, etc. Next one is merchant bankers will submit to SEBI all returns and send reports regarding the issue of shares. They will submit all returns to the SEBI and send reports regarding the issues of shares to the SEBI. A code of conduct for merchant bankers will be given by SEBI, which has to be followed. Any violation by the merchant bankers will lead to the revocation of authorization by the SEBI. These conditions must be fulfilled by the merchant bankers for carrying out their activities. That is, authorization will be given by the SEBI for, and they need to renew it. Minimum net worth is given. They has to pay authorization fee, annual fee, renewal fee. They has to manage the issue. The responsibilities of lead managers will be given by the SEBI. They are responsible for allotment of securities as well as refunds. They need to submit returns as well as reports to the SEBI, and they have to follow the code of conducts provided by SEBI. Any violation by the merchant bankers will lead to the revocation of the authorization. Well, these are the major functions, guidelines, recognition conditions, as well as the conditions given by the SEBI on merchant bankers.